Hey everyone, Maxwell here. My family and I have had our Model Y for just under a year now, and after about half a dozen road trips, I can confidently say this thing works great for families. But because it is a compact SUV, you do have to work a little closely with the space you have. It's not like a minivan where you can just casually throw in anyone and everything and just hit the road immediately. You have to be a little more cautious about what you're packing in the car. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Let's go over some numbers first. Cars.com has a great list that they have sourced themselves with their own approach to measuring cargo space. From that list of 36 compact SUVs, the Model Y ranks fourth with 20.9 cubic feet of cargo space behind the back seats. They also append an additional 2.9 cubic feet separately for the frunk. That makes a total of 23.8 cubic feet of cargo space, bringing the Model Y to the top of their list. For perhaps a more relevant comparison between EVs, the Ford Mustang Mach-E had a backseat cargo space of 15.9 cubic feet, with a comparable 2 cubic feet for the frunk, bringing the total to 17.9 cubic feet of cargo space. The Volkswagen ID.4 measured in at 18.9 cubic feet of cargo space and does not have a frunk. When you open up the owner's manual of the Model Y, you'll find that their measurements are a little bit different from what Cars.com provides. But it's still valuable to look at, as in the owner's manual, they outline the differences between the 5-seater Model Y and the 7-seater configuration Model Y and the cargo space related to each of them. What is most interesting is that the Model Y's 7-seater has less cargo space even after all 5 seats are folded down, when compared to the 5-seater with its 3 seats folded down. And not so surprising that once you add back the frunk to both configurations, the Model Y 7-seater just does not have as much cargo space as the 5-seater. So the takeaway here is, when considering raw numbers of cargo space, the Model Y is at the top of the list. You shouldn't worry about missing out on any cargo space when shopping around other compact SUVs. But as helpful as raw numbers are, our experience with the Model Y's cargo space has been amazing. With the deep and large cargo area, underneath the floor for charging equipment, first aid kit, blankets, and a stroller, the 2 deep pockets on either side of the cargo area for shoes, tie-down straps, and portable potty, and the cargo area's floor up against the rear seat for traditional suitcase and bags, and leveraging one seat being folded down to give more space to our oldest to lay down and play the Switch with Mr. Unicorn, and the floor space under the second row for the diaper bag, snack bag, activity bag, and perishable bag, and the front for pickleball gear, we have never run out of space. We've even filled up the car with Christmas presents for going down to Grandma and Grandpa's house for Christmas, and recording equipment for a project that my wife was doing with her sister, and we never had a problem with running out of space. All 3 of our kids can fit in the middle row. This is great for running around town for various errands and day-to-day life kind of stuff. But between the car seats and booster seats, the oldest and middle child end up fighting a bit around buckling, since the buckles are so close together. Also, with our car seat configuration, it can get a little hectic getting in and out, as our oldest is always ready to get out before the middle one is ready to get out. Which leads me to a very important point about the Model Y 7-seater configuration. I'm 6'2", and so while I'm driving, my seat is naturally going to get pushed back a little bit, but I still need room for the kid and their car seat behind me. Fortunately, our baby carrier system and both of our kids' booster seats fit behind me while I'm driving with my seat all the way back. However, once you get to that third row, you have to start playing some body Tetris. As the middle row is able to slide forward, you can provide a decent enough space for anyone 5'5" and shorter in the third row. But that makes it a bit impossible for anyone sitting behind me to fit in the second row. So what ends up happening in the case when we're packing in a bunch of adults in the car is the shortest adults will sit in the third row, and anyone also relatively short will sit behind me while I'm driving in the second row, and everyone will just kind of fill in the rest of the space. This is probably the biggest asterisk when we talk about the Model Y for families. If you or your spouse are 5'10" or above, you're going to have to work around their height. It doesn't mean that it doesn't work, but it's going to take some additional coordination to get everyone comfortable inside the car. But if no one in your family is above 5'8" or 5'9", you're not even going to have to think about this at all. Everything's just going to work really well, and everyone's going to have plenty of room to enjoy. For reference, my wife is 5'4", and she fits perfectly in that third row. She's told me she can be there for probably about an hour before it starts to get really uncomfortable, which makes it perfect for running to the airport to pick up someone or just going on a night out with a bunch of other couples. Now, because this is a tech channel, we do have to talk about the tech in the Model Y in regards to families. Being able to let the kids climb into the front and watch Bluey while a parent grabs something from a store is really fun. It's an extra nice feature that makes trips special when you get to watch shows in the car. And with the all-glass roof, we end up suction cupping an old iPad to the roof for the kids to watch movies on those extra long road trips. We just keep the iPad to the side so I can still see out the back, and pair the iPad to an external speaker for better sound. This helps break up the long stretches of time between charging, which with kids is really nice. You basically get to stop every 2 to 3 hours and have an impromptu picnic while you let the car charge, and you guys get to run around and stretch your legs outside. And with that, thanks for watching. I hope this was informative and entertaining for you. Thumbs and subs, and if you do have any questions, leave them in the comments or reach out to me on Twitter. I'm happy to chat about this stuff or any more details you may want to know. Till the next one. Thanks, guys.